Now, we wanted to show you just how toxic snake venom can be, clearly pretty obvious from Tulip's report. But let me introduce you to Nicholas Casewell, who is from the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, who you saw in Tulip's film. And this is Nicola Piper, who is a nurse. And Nicola is here to take my blood. We're going to mix some of my blood with the venom from a West African saw-scale viper. And Nicola is about to get started. Obviously, if you don't like needles and you don't like blood, please look away for the next minute. Now we're going to do it on my right arm. I'm not going to look, Nicola, because I'm fine with feeling the needle. I just don't like looking at them.
That's
apparently,
not a problem.
it is a very large needle, and the reason it's so large is
because it draws the blood quicker.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a large syringe, but I'm not filling it to the top.
I'm not looking.
No worries. Just going to pop my gloves on.
Is everyone laughing because it's massive? No?
Okay. Sharp scratch coming, okay?
Yeah. Have I got good veins, Nicola?
Doing really well. Not much more. You can just bear with.
No, it's fine. It's obviously a regular occurrence having my blood taken on
live TV.
On TV.
There we go. All done.
Done?
Yeah. Just going to remove.
Can I look?
Yeah.
Great.
I'll just put a little plaster on you.
No worries.
So what I'm going to do here is just to try and illustrate how potent snake venom can be.
Okay.
And so there's a small amount of venom in this syringe, and I'm just going to pipette a tiny bit into the blood sample we just collected from you, and just give it a gentle swill. And the venom of the saw-scale viper is a really potent venom that acts on your blood system. Right. So it causes you to bleed, but it also causes your blood to clot. And so that blood, when we put it into the conical flask, is very liquid. Obviously, your blood is liquid. And then if I pour it out here, perhaps you can see now the effect that has happened to your blood. It's turned into this really large jelly clot,
thick
in
and
effect.
gloopy and jellified as opposed to being liquid.
That's right. So the venom activates lots of different clotting components in your blood.
Within seconds?
Within seconds. And this is about 1/100 of a gram of venom from this snake, so a tiny, tiny amount.
Oh, my gosh.
And you get this really startling effect. And this kind of emphasises how potent snake venoms can be when they bite people.
So would that happen to your blood inside your body?
Great question. So this obviously is a test tube experiment, and the blood's not being pumped around as it would be normally in a body. What happens when a person is bitten by a saw-scale viper is they actually form lots of small clots rather than this one big lump of jelly. And those clots can cause problems because they can lead to strokes, but they also mean that you can't clot your blood anymore. And there are other toxins in the venom that are causing you to bleed. They're damaging your blood vessels. So you end up in a state where you're bleeding and you can't clot your blood anymore. Wow. And so these people bleed to death over a day or two.
Yeah. Just shake the Petri dish again. Just
sure.
Is it continuing to solidify, or is that the state that it would be?
Yeah, we're now at a point really where all of the blood that we took from you has clotted into this this jelly. So there's no more clotting to be done, as it were.
Do you know what it reminds me of? The placenta when you've given birth.
Yeah, sure.
So it's that kind of consistency, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's just all of that blood, the clotting potential has just been consumed by the venom there. So you can imagine, as you say, how quickly this happened, what would happen if you were bitten by a snake. Yeah. But the interesting thing about the snake venoms themselves is they're very different. So some snakes will have this kind of effect on your blood, some will cause paralysis, some can cause really horrible local tissue damage, as you saw in the film there as well. So depending on what you're bitten by really has a very different outcome in the patient.
Okay. I've got a comment here from someone who keeps snakes. Right, Natalie says, I keep snakes, albeit constrictors and not venomous varieties. I've been bitten on occasion, but it's rare if they're properly looked after, and all of mine are. I understand that there are some terrible stories about snake bites, but please try not to demonise them as a whole on your show. A lot of snakes are at risk and are vulnerable. Is that true?
Absolutely, and snakes themselves are really valuable organisms in an ecosystem. So in the places, as we saw in Kenya there, where people are getting bitten, it's rural, poor farmers who are being bitten by these snakes and children. But the snakes play a key role in that community as well, because they control the rodent populations that would otherwise decimate the crops. So there is this trade-off. We can't just go around demonising snakes and killing them. That's not a solution. They are important animals and they do play an important role in the ecosystem. But we obviously have to find a way to manage that snake-human conflict.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicola.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you in bizarre circumstances. Nick, thanks for coming on our programme.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
From the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine. Thank you.